Good afternoon and welcome back to the Coach Murray Show, the 2021 edition, season premiere. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, doing great. Getting about that, the most wonderful time of the year, as all us coaches say, is,
I'm glad to be back.
Yes,
It's
sir.
been a crazy busy summer for me. I know you guys have been hopping all summer long with OTAs, summer workouts, passing competitions, and whatnot.
Yeah. We can talk about that a little bit. I felt like we had a good weight program this summer, and I'll talk about Coach Jones in a minute. He does a wonderful job in the weight room, and the guys really believe in him. And I tell people all the time about our kids. The core of our team, they're juniors now. We've had them since they're freshmen, and they look so much different. You can when you look at them. I mean, you probably saw that this spring about how much different they look. Instead, I was going through the roster the other day before our meet the tribe the other day, and I was putting weights in, and I didn't put a lot of 120 pounders in. I was putting 220s and stuff, and it's a compliment to what Coach Jones has done in that weight room, and the kids, the hard work they put in with that this summer. And not only do we have that, but we threw a lot. After we got through with our weight training every day, we throw and kind of start implementing our playbook per se, and both on offense and defense. And wouldn't have them out there long because gosh, it was hot. Because we kind of start in the mornings. In June we had two groups. We bring the younger group in at 8 o'clock, and then we bring the older group in at 10, and then we bring them all together in July. We ended up getting about 26 days of workouts despite the weather and stuff like that. So we had time with them to work on that. And then we went and we were going to do some more, but we went over to Camden a couple of days and banged around a little bit with Brunswick and Camden and McIntosh, who will play this year, and Johnson out of Savannah. We played those folks, and we did some good things and did some bad things. And we went over and thrown against Camden. We went to a throwing 7-on-7 camp per se. We had like 8 games we played up at Ware County. And we did all that in the same week, and that was a lot on the boys, but we did it. But we had some success, like I said, over in Camden, especially throwing the ball, because that's what we do. And Camden wanted to see more of it, so they had, hey, can you come over and let's throw a little bit? And we said sure. So we did that 2 more times. After we got through with that OTA, we got to throw 2 more times, and we went over to Camden one time and got some good work in. And we went over there. They have so many people. I think Coach Aaron, who's back over there, they're excited over there in Camden. I bet they had 200. He told me this spring, during his spring workouts, he had 214 kids. I don't know how you manage that. But anyway, I guess that's a good thing. But so naturally we got over here and go, hey, can you run 2 groups? I was like, I don't, because we're not built for that, But we did, and we did some good things, and of course some bad things. We didn't get blown out of the place over there, and we're not built to do that split like that against a 7A team like that. But the kids did well, and they worked hard. The core of our group, like I said, they're juniors. We have some real good, dependable seniors. And I'm proud about how they've stayed in this program. This will be, some of them's 4th year. I know Assad Akbar, who's by far my best player, which I'll talk about our seniors in a little bit. He's been here 4 years, and I just, I can't, applaud those guys, whatever you want to say.
Right.
I'm just so proud that they stuck around through these three years with me and stuck it out for. It's tough nowadays to get a high school kid to stay in the sport for 4 years. And we're growing as I keep telling you this spring, we didn't have a coaching show after the spring game. It was exciting how that was. We took Pierce won it in AAA last year, and they lost a lot of kids, but they still had that running back. They had probably one of the best running backs we'll see all year. They still
Which one's that?
The Bell kid from Pierce.
Okay.
And and they fought hard, and we're headed the right direction. As I look at the roster, we have 65 dressed out right now. I mean, we could pan here. You might want to do that when you leave. You see a full locker room now instead of 42 that we had last year, and that's exciting. That makes everything better, because you get you don't get more reps in practice, but you get more quality reps because you have fresh people going in
Right.
and giving you good looks and stuff. And I'm excited about what's going on. We're headed in the right direction. Maybe we can.
When you have those numbers, you don't have to split up the starters so much. You can let them work their units, and that gets more reps in, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that's something we've been able to do. We haven't been able to do that last couple of years. When we have our starters over there, we don't have much resistance either on offense or defense. And to have that ability to do that, that's, it makes us work hard. We're like, okay, we're having a tough time blocking Assad. Well, Assad's going to be playing offense, some. So, Assad's a returning all-region lineman, and our region is pretty tough, and so, if we can't block Assad, then, we know we got to get better, but it's okay. We're not going to see many Assads this year.
That's the whole purpose of the summer
exactly,
and the workout.
Exactly.
Get better.
Exactly.
Get better.
Exactly.
Like you say, win the day.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. That's what we try to do. Yes, sir.
All right, Coach. We got, I know there's been some changes in the offseason. We got a new athletic director, Dusty Phillips, is athletic director. And he's also your offensive coordinator. Talk about your staff.
Okay,
for 2021.
Yeah, I have, I still got some of the same guys back. My assistant head coach is Zach Wittenberg. And I say that because Zach can coach anything from offensive line to defensive secondary, and he knows all of it. And he's probably the most intelligent one I have on staff, but I don't know. We may other guys may get upset about that, but as far as knowing kids and knowing things, like he's great. And Bobby Jones is my defensive coordinator and my strength coach, and he does a great job. The kids really buy into what he's doing, both on this field and over there at the school in that weight room. And he's just a great guy. Zach was a head coach for Wyatt Hilliard, and Bobby was also a head coach at AAA Adel for about 5 years. Mm-hmm. And so got some great assistant coaches there, with some head coaches, and I lean on them about a lot of stuff. And then Dusty, who's my offensive coordinator, he's real intelligent about an offense. He knows how offenses run. He studies the game well. He knows that from the top to the bottom, from the receivers down to the offensive line play. He played for us, and he played at Carson Newman, and he played line there at center. So he was the guy making all the calls. So he's been doing that for a long time. And then I have Brian Lloyd, who's my offensive line coach, who played on our first state championship here back in 1999. Mm-hmm. So he's getting better and better every year. And on the offensive line is Thomas Brooks, who coaches my wide receivers, and he does some specialties with the kicker and stuff. And he too, I don't know how long. It's getting close to about 10 years now, I guess, for him. I'd have to go back and look, but and it seems he's just getting progressively better and better. Not only coaching on the field, but how he relates to kids, and that's so important today. And on the defensive side, I have Coach Jeff Swing, who coaches my D-line, and he does a great job. He's the fireball. He brings some of that Army, he's a lieutenant in the Army, and he gets fired up, and he can really coach these kids up. And let's see, also on defense, I have Kevin Stevenson, who comes from us from Waycross. He was the athletic director and head coach, football coach for their junior high at Waycross for, I don't know. I think he was there about 9 years, and I think they went about 5 years without losing a game at Waycross Junior. And he came to us, and one of the reasons why he wanted to make the move now is he's got a son in the 8th grade, and he wanted to be able to coach him, and he didn't really feel that he had that opportunity, and or whatever, I don't know, but I know that we made that opportunity once. I talked to him, and I was like, oh yeah. Plus his son can really kick, and we're losing Wyatt this year too. I told him, I said, that's half the reason why you got the job. And the other half is he's got a daughter who's in the 6th grade, Gabby, and she helps me out so much out here keeping my time. We don't have those expensive time clocks like Camden has a time clock, lets you know what period to go to. I've got Gabby. Gabby sits right there with her cell phone, and I guarantee every 5 minutes she's blowing my bullhorn, and we know that we're going to the next period. She does a great job, and also my junior high staff. We have I got another move I made this year in the off season was bring Coach Carter up from the junior high. He'd been the head coach for a while down there, and he'd made a move to teach at the high school. He's teaching math at the high school now, and I talked to him about this, and I said, Coach Carter, what do you think about coming up and just kind of being my operations guy, helping me out for all this stuff I screw up on?
I was going to ask you, I saw the title there, operations. I was wondering what that was.
He doesn't have a position to coach, but he keeps this locker room straight. He keeps that equipment room straight, and he keeps all our schedules and stuff. And as we go on, he's doing a little bit more. Gosh, man, people don't know it, and these parents know it. I sent them home this summer with each kid with 6 pieces of paper that they had to fill out.
He's your general manager.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is, and he didn't get in that this summer because he was still teaching summer school and stuff. But he's going to do such a great job. Like he's doing the max prep stuff that we got online that we have to do online. They sent me an email just to check it. I sent her, Coach Carter, check this out, and he told me after practice, he said, I took care of that. He took care of that while we were out at practice. So he can do stuff like while we're out on the field, I'm out on the field, he can take care of that stuff and, all that time-consuming stuff, and I'm glad to have him up there. The junior high staff, they have, Chris Kraft is going to be the head coach down there, and I'm sure he's probably going to call the offense too. He works with Coach Phillips a lot about learning stuff, and he'll come up here and like during the spring he came out here with us and things like that. And on the defensive side, you have J.D. Sauls. J.D. has been with us for a while. J.D. he does a great job helping us out on Friday nights because he pulls our trailer, our equipment. He gets us there, and then we have a new coach down there called Jack Corder. He's straight out of college. He went to West Georgia. He graduated I think this spring, and so he's teaching the 4th grade down there at Bethune, and he played center for Coach Phillips at I hope I say the Ridgeview, somewhere up there in Atlanta.
All right. All right, welcome back to the Coach Murray Show. We had an unexpected break, Coach. Well, let's get right back at it. We had you were talking about your junior high coaching staff.
Yeah, this year.
We'll just start over with Coach Kraft.
Okay, this year the Bethune Middle School Braves, they'll be led by Coach Chris Kraft. He's his first year as head coach because he's taking over for Larry Carter, who came up to the high school and running the football operations guy now. And he's got helping him is J.D. Sauls. J.D. Sauls has been with him for several years. He'll be coaching defense, and I think Coach Kraft will be calling the offense. And we got a new coach to the school system and to our program, and that's Jack Corder. He is from North Georgia, around Atlanta, and he actually played center for Coach Phillips back in one of Coach Phillips's first jobs here in Georgia. And Coach Phillips said he was a heck of a player, and he seems knowledgeable what's going on, and excited, as a young guy goes, and we're excited about them. He's got a big old group. They've been out there practicing. And there's some big old kids. There's one kid almost bigger than all our kids, but not quite because we've got some big kids
almost.
This year. Yeah.
Hey, Coach, we got coaching staff there. We've got the players. Talk about some of your standouts over the summer.
Well, it's hard to really pick one out. There's a lot of kids that did some great things because at the OTAs and even in the 7-on-7 we went to, we played, a lot of kids got to play. And, I told you about us splitting up the Camden. When we went over there in Camden, we split them up into 2 groups. And basically we had a Charlton 1 and Charlton 2, and we were trying to play, their offense and defense. We were just flip-flopping fields. But there were a number of kids that really, came and did. I wished I had my workout sheet on how many people made workouts, but – and a lot of the kids that made the workouts weren't really, I was kind of disappointed in the seniors somewhat. They came, but, really the freshmen and the sophomore, and of course our juniors are core group, but they really did a good job. And there were a ton of freshmen that that earned Iron Indian status, which I gave them. You'll see the kids running around T-shirts. They won a T-shirt that says Iron Indians. That's something that Coach Mack did a long time ago, and we haven't done it for the last couple of years. But a kid that had perfect attendance got an Iron Indian shirt, and kids that made the Warrior status. So you had to make 19 of the workouts to get Warrior status, and there were a lot of kids. I'd hate to just say one because I'd miss out on a lot of them. I am going to mention this one kid. He's a 10th grader, and he didn't play at all last year. And I tell you what, I really, he would be a kid that we'd be really worried about health-wise if he didn't get to doing something. But it's Adam Kirkland, 76. He's 6'6", he's 6 foot, and he's 320. And that 320, he's lost a lot of weight. And I'm telling you, this kid came to every workout, came to every practice. He's hadn't missed a practice, and he's bought into what he's doing. Coach Jones is just so excited about him in the weight room because he's so much better than he was, and I would just, highlight him because that was a lot of times we talk about the Jalen Kings and the Jalen Lillies and the Kyler Williams and the Assad Akbars. We talk about them too, but there's kids also, especially the high school game, like Adam Kirkland, that are just here and he's in the program and he tries hard. And, he might not play till he's a senior, but I'm super excited about how he conducted himself this summer. And, and like I said, I can mention both of them. I'm seeing the Rogers twins, they're sophomores, and they've put on about 20-something pounds, and one of them's over 200, one of them's right at 200, and that's a whole lot from their 150 they showed up last year with, and there's a number, and both of them are starting on the offensive line. And, there's a lot of kids that did some great things this summer, and there's a lot of kids that, it seems kind of redundant, but they've bought into it, and I like it. They tried to win today. Every day they got better, and as they got better, they started winning the weeks and the months, and, they've won them a starting spot. We'll talk about the offense and defense later, but, I was excited about how well they did this summer.
I know we've talked about, the offensive line, the beef that's like the last few years, it seemed like, with the weight room, like the weight has been down, but I'm looking at this roster over here. There's some beef over here this year.
Yeah, there is. VJ Lewis is one that didn't play last year for whatever reason. He's a senior. He's 5'11", about 260 pounds, and yesterday he was standing doing a backflip. Well, I say he wasn't standing. He ran, but he did backflips on the wrestling mats, and I was like, whoa. He stopped that, but it was unreal that a guy that big can do that. So he's got some athleticism about him too. He's a wrestler, and there's a number. We could go through this list of 65 and point them out. We don't have time. I'm proud of how many of them worked this summer.
You got some plus 300 kids over here on that right side of that page.
Yeah, there's some
big boys.
Colin Lloyd is one. Yeah, He's a junior. Colin Lloyd's super smart, and he's 6'2". He's 6'2", 303. So, he's put together pretty well.
That's a big youngin, 6'2", 320. That's a grown man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right, Coach.
Hey, that kid that that's a 9th grader that's coming up. I'm excited about him, that Fraley kid, but we'll
I don't know why I was coming into the show today. I was thinking year 3 we'll be senior heavy, but I'm looking at this roster. There's a ton of juniors.
Yeah, the juniors have been the core of our team. When I started this thing here as head coach, we looked at the roster was depleted. We had to start over, and okay, what do we start with? Do we start with new kids coming in, or what we had? Well, we took it over to Camden and played the scrimmage, because I took over in the spring, and we had those 2 weeks, and we were running like was he a sophomore? No, junior quarterback. We're running a junior. He was going to be a junior, and actually he had won the spot. And but for whatever reason he decided not to play football anymore. And the next guy up was Jalen King. Jalen was right at 6'3". He's 6'3", 190 now. He used to be 160 You know, he's put together well, and
a lot of these kids are going to be 4-year starters.
And we go back and look at that, and there was a lot of kids that, okay, well, what do we do? Do we play kids that, well, we could start young, and they won the spot. It wasn't like we just gave it to them. You know, we had Jalen Lilly had to play both ways, and Kyler Williams played some, and yeah, a lot of them really weren't ready to play. You know, that's one of the reasons why we were 1-9. But they gained a lot of experience. You know, instead of looking, you know, at a junior now being just having 1 year starting behind him, we've got juniors that have 2 years starting behind them. They're 3-year starters this year.
Yeah.
And I think that, and so next year they'll be 4-year. You know, so it's pretty well. We got some young guys where they're not going to be the only one playing. We got a couple of freshmen mixed in, and this year. In fact, when we go over the depth chart, you'll say, well, a freshman, yeah, he's playing number 2. There might be a freshman or two that'll be starting before the end of the year. In fact, one of the freshmen that everybody will notice right off the bat is the freshman we got, the 6'6". You know, Elias Williams. He's 6'6", and you know, he weighs about 182 pounds, and 188 pounds, and he was 200 something, and he got sick. He got COVID over the summer, and he lost a bunch of weight. But he's a kid that will stand out and play. You know, so you know, I tell Jalen all the time when he gets to messing up, we'll play a freshman if we have to. And y'all saw another freshman quarterback. You know, Aiden Cruz this spring.
He had a big
yeah,
game.
He did.
Game.
He's exciting, and I like the freshman class we have coming in, and
put some pressure on the older boys.
Oh yeah, and that's what he does. He can do that.
You can't take advantage. Next man up every time, right?
Yeah, that's right. I guess so.
That's what it is. Hey, Coach, let's dive into some football on the coming up Friday night.
Yeah.
We've got Islands High School coming down. 4A, like you and I were discussing during the break. And they were a playoff team last year too.
They were
3.
I don't know the number of that region, but it's the Savannah region. You know, with Windsor, Forest, and Groves, I believe, and all those folks there, and they play some good football, and they actually look like the Jaguars. Their uniforms look like the Jaguars, the same colors.
I was looking at that when I was looking at their logo and last night.
Yeah, they're the Sharks. But anyway, yeah, they made the play. Had a real good quarterback last year and a real good running back and some size on the offensive line. They lost a lot of people, but you know they got a fine head coach, Coach Brent up in. And I'm sure he's got someone there to take their spot. But they'll become. Go ahead.
Now, what do they run? Are they a wing spread?
No, they're going to run some spread stuff. You know, like to throw it around a little bit, and you know, defense they're like even front of 40. You know, and they're going to be athletic enough to cause us a lot of problems. Well, anybody's going to cause us problems. You know, because we're not there yet. We're getting better. You know, we've got to show up to play everybody, and so I'm excited to be a test. To be the first time our kids since the Pierce County scrimmage in the spring get to go against other people. I mean, the little game we had the other day, the scrimmage was okay, but it got to the point where it's just, you know, we've been going against each other for so long, not hitting per se. We've only been hitting before week, but we've been doing different things, you know, all summer long, and spending more time competing against ourselves than other people. Excuse me.
You all right over there?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Hey, we've got the scrimmage Friday, kickoff at 7:30.
Yes, sir.
What do you expect out of our defense facing that offense? They're pretty familiar with, you said it's a spread, so our defense pretty much working
right
against the spread every time in practice.
Well, you know, I'm sitting here looking at this depth chart, and like I told you about the freshmen, you can see we got some green popped in there. We got some freshmen at second spots, but you know, we're at the defensive front. We ought to be pretty solid with. We got Gage Renfro and Assad Akbar in the front, and along with sophomore Jamie Jackson, Jamie's a big kid too. Jamie's probably about 6'2", 6'3", maybe more closer to 3-ish. He weighs about 225. You know, he looks good in the uniform, and this year he wanted that single-digit number 8, and he was 25 last year, and I said, all right, but single-digit guys have to play. So anyway, that's going to be our front, and we'll, you know, we got Lily on the edge and Darion Jones on the edge and Hamlet, and right now he's got Jorge Rivera. I don't know. Do you know Jorge? Mm-hmm. Jorge's, he's been playing baseball, and he decided, Coach Jones has been after him about playing football, because, gosh, he's a heck of that, and he can run. And, I think Coach Jones timed him run like a 4.6 last year. Wow. And so we got him out, and I'm excited about that. He really, and what we found out this spring is he was not afraid to hit. And he will fly around, and we're excited to see him. That Xavier Swift, who opted out last year, he didn't go to school. He was online school last year. He'll be at one of the safeties, and of course Kyler Williams is another safety. In the corners, we got a Jamari Hamilton. He was a kid that suffered the injury breaking his leg last year against Turner. 22 on the kickoff return. He's back, and he's healthy. And I tell you, that kid, he's going to play offense too. He can go. Jamari Hamilton, and the other corner is senior Najee Smith. Him playing.
Darius? Darius?
No, Najee Smith, 16.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you. All right.
Yeah. But anyway, they I hope they do like they did against Pierce, flying around. Coach Jones really works on them pursuing and things like that, and I think we'll see a lot of that, a lot of hats around the ball.
On the offensive side of the ball, I know you're not going to give too much away on our side of the ball. How King, Lilly, and that group back there, what you think for Friday night?
Well, I mean,
generally, I know you won't give away too much.
I mean, we're going to work on everything. I mean, we like if we got a guy like King that can throw it, we're going to try to do that, of course. But King kind of showed us this spring that he has a little bit more in his tank than just throwing the ball. He ran the ball well.
Yeah, he did. He ran the ball real good Friday night.
And he can run. He is a region champion in the 300 hurdles, and so he can run. Mm-hmm. And it would be not too smart of us to not have him running, But of course, we got some pretty talented receivers, guys that are aren't freshmen anymore. And we're hoping that they'll really step up.
He's like a dual threat. King is.
Oh yeah. That's right. He can be for sure.
All right, Coach. Got Friday night. We got the scrimmage, 7:30 kickoff right here. Any restrictions or anything do we know about? I know they're encouraging masks, but I don't think anything's mandatory.
No, I mean it's just like we said all year last year. And we still, if you notice when we came in, you notice a table with the holes cut out. Mm-hmm. That's something that Coach Westerbeck, who was a trainer last year, came up with. And so they don't drink after each other. They had their own little number. They put their cup in a hole. Mm-hmm. We do what we did last year, and I tell them, let's don't get too comfortable. Y'all did a great job last year. COVID didn't affect us too much, and it did. We're out there at the end of the season, but our players did a great job of doing what they needed to do, and and they've been doing that. And I don't know about this thing. It seemed like it was going away, but it wasn't. We've got teachers, God bless them, that are in the hospital, and I heard the other day that one of the girls I taught, she passed away. She's only 39 years old, and it's terrible. Yeah. But just as long as you just try to be safe and that's all we can do,
Try to be safe and do what personally makes you feel safe.
Yeah, exactly. We talking. I've told the kids. I said, and I have some. I said, wear a mask if you want to, and they're all eligible. There, you can get a shot starting at 12. And I have several kids on the team that have been, immunized. And I say, if you want to get it, get it. If you're worried about missing practice, don't worry about it. You get the shot, and if it makes you sick, you come back whenever you feel better. Right. That's your choice. And if you don't want to get it, that's fine too.
We live in strange times.
But and that's how people here in the community have to be, and really everywhere. Let's just be smart. Don't do stupid things, and what they are, I don't know, because I don't understand this virus. It seems to evolve as we evolve, and or as we go on. I guess it just changes and that. But Lord willing, we'll be able to have a successful football season this year, both on and off the field with the kids in the classroom too, and won't have too many interruptions with this COVID stuff. But like I said, we've already had some with our players being exposed, and I had one player that was positive this summer, and and I didn't have the first player last year positive. Right. So, it's already affected us somewhat, and I was talking to other coaches today, like Coach from Brantley, who we play next week. He was saying that he's got a lot of kids that have been exposed, and, we just have to be smart, and just kind of limit ourselves we don't have to do everything, but we do need to live. And I hope everybody continues to do that. And just be smart.
Friday night, we got it's a scrimmage. Now, are we doing 4 quarters? Are we doing 3 quarters varsity? Fourth quarter?
It'll be very similar, well, almost identical to the spring scrimmage. I talked to Coach Prentup about us going live special teams. What we're going to do is varsity for 3 quarters.
Okay.
And we wanted, me and my coordinator, Coach Phillips and Coach Jones, hey, let's go live, because it really doesn't count Friday. Right. But it will count on the 20th, next week. So we need to be prepared. But Coach said he wasn't going to be ready for that. So it's going to be, we're just going to start at the 30s, punts will be just automatic from the 30s, 30 yards. And about the only thing live will be extra points.
I got you.
And then we'll do that for 3 quarters. And then we'll have a 12-minute quarter where our JV offense will have the ball for 6 minutes, and their JV offense will have it for 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so it'll be a typical scrimmage like what we're used to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, for the most part. All right. This comes to our fundraiser part of the show. I know you had scorecards out a while back.
Yeah, we did.
Is that still going on, or what are we doing there?
The fundraiser's over with, but Coach Bill Gordon, the scorecard, he donated some to us, so we could sell them. And if anybody's interested, missed out on it, the kids did pretty well. Yeah. And if you missed out on it, just contact me, and I'll certainly make sure you get one. Right. And there's some pretty good stuff on there. It's about too small for me to read, but there's several good things on there. And
you're always still selling the plaques, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you notice, there are a few lockers that still do not have plaques in them. And, and we sell the locker, I think, for, don't quote, I think it's $200. You can put your forever mark in there, which a lot of them have.
They look really good. Tammy and I did one down here somewhere.
Yeah.
In year 1, they look really sharp.
Yeah, and there's not many.
It helps the program, because this stuff's not cheap.
No, they're not. I mean, this stuff is, this locker room. One day I'd like for you to just kind of pan through and show the people. I mean, as far as the Class A school, this is got to be one of the best. We used to have that All-Star game here, that AJ played in that thing too. Remember the All-Star game? We would host it, and kids from bigger schools would come in, and they were just like, wow, and
this is a nice facility.
It really is, and yep.
Yeah, it used to be what was it? War of the Border.
Border War. That's right. That's right. Yeah,
what happened with that? They don't come here anymore.
Well, I really don't know. Coach Mack put a lot of effort into getting that here, along with Big Mike from Thomas. I think he's from Thomasville, but they put a lot of effort in it, because this was one of the places to do it, and it just kind of lost its fizzle. Not only when Coach Mack left and Coach Herron wasn't there, they were guys that really put a lot into it, and we'll see, how it goes.
All right, Coach. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming back, even though we had a little hiccup here in the first show with an extended commercial break.
That's all right. I got to go out to Running Bear, and
we took a tour of Folkestone.
Yeah, got to go to Running Bear and get me one of your snow cones.
You're one of the first people to see our new production trailer too.
That was nice, real nice. It'll be nice
inside of that. So we appreciate it, and we'll see you Friday night versus the Islands Sharks.
The Islands High School Sharks. That's right.
The Island Sharks. Friday night kickoff 7:30. Thank y'all for watching the Coach Murray Show. We'll see you Friday.